29th. This is a Fort Myers Beach Special Town Council meeting at our temporary town hall administration trailer at 2545 Estero Boulevard. We will start by opening up for public comment. Is there anyone here that would like to say a few things? No? All right, moving on. Our administrative agenda, we have Resolution 23-99, State of Local Emergency, Hurricane Idalia. A resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Fort Myers Beach, Florida, declaring a state of local emergency due to the approach of Hurricane Idalia, providing the town with powers including but not limited to those pursuant to Florida Statutes Chapter 252 and Town Code Chapter 2, Article 6, providing for penalties for violations, providing for conflicts, severability, and an effective date and a termination date. Is there any discussion regarding the resolution 23-99?
Mayor, maybe that's the town manager. Town manager.
Would you like me to reread it? Yeah.
This is the town manager.
Well, I'll reread it just in case.
Okay, perfect.
A resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Fort Myers Beach, Florida, declaring a state of local emergency due to the approach of Hurricane Idalia, providing the town manager with powers including but not limited to those pursuant to Florida Statutes Chapter 252 and Town Code Chapter 2, Article 6, providing for penalties for violations, providing for conflicts, severability, and for an effective date and a termination date.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
if I may, Mr. Town Manager or Mr. Mayor, you've all been briefed by our town attorney. Could you just give a lay description of, in essence, what we're doing today? Either one of you? Go ahead.
Yes, Vice Mayor, basically what this is in case of emergency, if there are any purchases that need to be made, we can go ahead and do that, sign contracts, and then bring them to the elected body at a later date, at the next meeting to codify them and get them into approval like we would normally do. It just kind of puts that.
Very good, thank you. Anything you wanted to add?
No, I think he covered it. It's essentially what we've had in place for Hurricane Ian. This is just for Hurricane Idalia.
Very good, thank you.
Any other discussion?
I'll move to approve.
We got a motion?
Second?
There is a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. Before we move for adjournment, there's a couple things that we wanted to get out there for everybody to, just for public information. If you haven't heard, there are two safe havens open just off the island. One is at the Estero Recreation Center at 9200 Corkscrew Palms Boulevard in Estero, and the other is North Fort Myers Recreation Center, and that's at 2000 North Recreation Parkway in North Fort Myers. And although it's not looking like we're going to get a direct hit, we will have hurricane warning or tropical storm warning in effect with possible 2 to 4 feet of storm surge. As we said yesterday, travel trailers are probably not the safest thing in the world to be staying in. We urge you to go for the next 24 to 48 hours as the storm passes. They're predicting around 2 to 3 o'clock when the eye will pass by us, assuming that it doesn't change any direction. We are keeping a close eye on it, knowing what we went through with Charlie, Irma, and Ian, how things can change and turn right very quickly. We're keeping a close eye on it. So if you can get over to those shelters, it's a good idea to do it, especially if you're in a travel trailer. 2 to 4 feet, they can still float. So be prepared. We also urge everyone to be vigilant and stay connected to local media, Lee County Public Safety, the Lee County Sheriff's Office, the Fort Myers Beach Fire District, and the town's social media and website pages for updates. We are in constant contact with the Fire District, letting us know what their plans are. We have a meeting with them after this meeting to make sure that we're all still on the same page. We covered the RV on the island. Lee County is the two shelters that they open. They are also offering Lee-Tran will support transportation until 12:30. You can call 211 for a ride before 12:30. Also, sand is available for free behind the former town hall property on the very back of the property where it's always been in the past. Please bring your own shovel. Bags are available in the Beach and Street Enforcement Office on the Town Hall complex while supplies last, or as long as weather permits. We also know, even though we have been constantly cleaning out the storm drains and continue to do so today, they're actually out there doing it again. As we get heavy rains and they fill back in, we have to go back. So we want everybody to be aware of the streets that we know typically flood, and that's Crescent Street, First Street, Second Street, Third Street, Bahia Via, Anchorage Street, Andre Marr Drive, Dakota Avenue, Oak Ridge Avenue, Fairview Lane, Lazy Way, and Estrelita Drive. So just be prepared if we get a lot of heavy rain. We know that those streets will flood, but again, as long as it's safe, Earthview will be out there today cleaning out the stormwater drains until it's no longer safe for them to be there. So with that, is there
Mr.
anything
Mayor?
else? Yes, sir.
I would be remiss if I didn't say briefly to you, Mr. Mayor, to our town manager, to our town staff. I see a lot of our department heads here. I just want to commend you for your leadership, particularly these last few days. To see the debris pickup that's occurred in the last few days when the hurricane was imminent, to see the town staff literally up at the crack of dawn and just canvassing our whole island and getting ready for the hurricane, having those ball fields ready last night for the ceremony. I think you rightfully were wise to postpone that, but just to see all the staff and the public and all the people who helped get those ball fields ready. Bayside Park is almost ready. This press conference you held yesterday was proactive. I just think it's a wonderful message and a set of actions that creates a tone that I think is positive, not only for the town, but for, more importantly, for our community. I would also say, compared to a year ago, and I give you a lot of credit for this, Mr. Mayor, the relationships that we have with our county commissioners, the sheriff, fire chief, legislature, the media. I just think as we face these kind of trials as a team, those relationships are stronger than ever, and I think it just positions our town to be in a much, much better place. So I just want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Town Manager, and certainly the town staff in their entirety for just a job well done.
Well, I appreciate it. It's very kind words. It takes a team, and
Yeah.
you guys sitting up here as well, I know how involved you are every day. So I thank you as well for everyone sitting here. It's a lot of work. We all know it's a lot of work as we're all trying to rebuild our lives. So thank you, everyone that's working with us. Also, a special thanks, mentioning that, I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot. Waste management was very crucial over the last couple days. We asked for their assistance with some claw trucks to come out and assist with the debris on the side of the road that we could get picked up as much as possible, and they were here actually while we were doing the press conference yesterday. It was we always say cue the dolphins, when you're out on the boat. It was like cue the waste management trucks, here they come. So they were coming in. So thank you to them for helping us. And another reminder is, if you have a construction site, please make sure that you get it secure as best as you possibly can, not only for your protection but your neighbors.
Mayor, if I may, thank you for the kind words. It does take the team. There's no one person that gets everything done, but we will be closing town hall early today. I'm going to get with staff right after this meeting, figure out the best time, but it'll be sometime this afternoon, and in the next hour we'll send out a media release. But we're also, need my staff fresh and ready to go for tomorrow after the storm passes tonight, to make sure that we're ready to do what we need to do to get everything done. So I will get with staff right after this, and we'll send a press release out by noon.
If I could, Mr. Town Manager, just because I had a lot of questions on this, the staff did a great job of getting the new hurricane reentry passes out. But since that's occurred, just a lot of people having questions about, can they use their old purple ones? If they have one of the new ones, and obviously it sounds like we're not going to need them this time, thank God, but if, just for future reference, since everyone's focused on this now, talk a little bit more about how the new reentry passes will work, and what's the process for reentry should we have a much more serious storm come our way.
Well, depending on the severity of the storm, our location for the entry point will be adjusted. It just depends on the complexity of returning to the island, how it looks like. We are setting up a location at Walmart, and if somebody doesn't have a pass, they can go to that location, show their driver's license, be issued a pass. We've got that in place. If they have their old pass and they get to the entry point, they'll need the old pass and their driver's license. or something that identifies them with the property, because those could have been, left in the house when it's sold, or anything like that. But we encourage people, thankfully, it doesn't look like we're going to need that this time, but thankfully, we have more passes, and we've had a great response from our public, and we continued to get more yesterday, actually. I don't know if we've had many today, but we still have plenty of passes to be handed out. We are mailing them out as well. So we've got a link for that. So we've had a really good opportunity to engage with our citizens with those. We worked with Lee County Sheriff's Office and with the Fort Myers Beach Fire District on the reentry point and how that will work on both ends of the island. But mainly, if you don't have a pass and we get to that point, you'll need to go to Walmart. We'll be identified by one of our vans, and there'll be 2 employees out there. We'll have everything you need to get your pass to get back on the island. Hopefully, be as expeditious as possible, depending on the lines and depending on the amount of debris and damage. But we kind of joke a little bit. We issued these new permits, and it's going to keep the hurricanes away. So that's the plan. It's kind of pretty elementary, but if it works, then it worked, right? No, but we know that's not the case, but we do appreciate the citizens working with us to be able to, orderly and orderly manner to come in and get their passes, and even the ones that needed them mailed out.
Very good, thank you.
I think it's important too, Andy, to add to that. I heard someone in the trailer today coming in for it. They were a contractor. The passes are not for your contractors. They are for you. So please tell your contractors, we appreciate their work that they're doing, but they can't come in and get a pass for your property. Any other comments, questions, concerns?
I would just kind of point out that I know there's a lot of people that are exposed now in trailers, and people are making light of this, but I think it's really important, especially in a trailer, to have a plan, have a place you can go, because this storm looks like most of the worst is going to be overnight, and if you're woken up by your trailer moving, it might be too late. So it's important to, still keep this serious and realize that a lot of us are very exposed.
It's a very good point. They're saying roughly 2 to 3 the eye will pass, and it's after the eye passes is when you really have to watch. That's when we're going to see the storm surge. That's when we're going to see the heavy winds, and that's also when high tide is today at 3:01. So it's not a time to panic, but it's time to be prepared and work the plan that you have in place. At the end of the day, the decision comes down to you. So do what's in the best interest of you to make sure that you and your family are safe. Anything else? With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Got a motion?
Second.
And a second? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hearing none, we are adjourned at 10:13.